You know how it go. We ain't perfect. We gonna do what we do. As long as we, you know what I'm saying? Like it's part of
Yeah,
life.
but like you said,
Yeah.
I'm a human being at the end of the day, and there are things on this earth that I still be trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as long as you do things in moderation, that's where you're always able to control and keep tabs on what you're doing. You don't never want to just get lost in it.
I'm living the ball. Point God, feel like I'm Paul. Street ties can get you dissolved. No lie, I seen what I saw. My mama was dribbling raw. Outside had nothing at all. Shipyard, working too hard. Hit the block and made it this far. Coming up, we're shopping at bras. Music game has a
And
way of
everything, but I'm super thankful we got my guy ShaiVa on. This is Let's Talk About It, presented by Early Birds. Shout out my guy Brandon, he's in the backdrop. But my main reason we're here today, my brother ShaiVa, appreciate you. If you don't know ShaiVa, he's blowing up on the internet, blowing up on TikTok, social media. He honestly has his own genre. Like, bro has his own genre. He's doing the music thing, he's doing the hustle thing, and he's doing it all from Virginia and nationwide. So I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me and you know what I mean, just kind of talk to the people and let people into what you got going on. So appreciate that, man.
Man, it means a lot, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It means a lot. Dope intro too. Amazing intro. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about, bro. I'm here to just build and connect and let the people hear my story or just get a different insight on how I think the game.
Who was ShaiVa before the music?
I was, Saturday before the music, I was very into basketball, to be honest. Basketball was like my main thing. And, as we know, I got the viral hit basketball that ended up correlating to that later on to make sense with my brand and stuff. But basketball, man, and just trying to figure life out. Before music, I was kind of at the lowest point of my life, trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
Homeless in street environments, bando environments, but still trying to move towards the light. Still working 9 to 5s
Yeah.
while in those positions, just trying to figure life out. So I don't know. Before music, I've been doing music since what 2016, 2017.
Nice.
It's about almost 10 years now, as far as when I started. So at
That's
that
10 years in the
place,
game. Yeah.
yeah, about 10 years. Things didn't kick off. I didn't release till 2017. So in that space was a very transitional phase for me. Just trying to find myself. I used music as a sector to because like I said, when you're at your lowest, and I always tell people when you're at your lowest, that's where you truly find yourself. That when
Definitely.
you're in the root of darkness, you have no choice but to either fall into the darkness or crawl
Hmm.
yourself towards the light.
Yep.
And I just use music and I just use my passion to get me out of that wavelength. So I'll say the Xavier before the music ultimately was just trying to figure things out, man. Just trying to figure it out, put myself in position, and not be afraid to take a risk.
Yeah, I love how you said that. You know what I mean? When you're down low, like you do have a choice. There's actually always a choice. But we're not gonna get into Kanye's topic, but choosing light, choosing positive is the best. I'm curious. Was there like a specific moment where you were like, you know what, I can actually do this. I can go full time with the
Hmm.
music. You know what I mean? Because that's a big commitment.
Yeah, that is a big commitment. Well, yeah, I mean, so I'll say once I got on my feet, like when I went homeless in Fredericksburg. As we know, that's where I'm from. That's my hometown city where I grew up in, and a lot of people know me just as Shy. Once I left to Norfolk, that's when I kind of got on my feet. I went from Virginia, and my family's from the 757, so I had like a real different type of spiritual support base behind me, just letting me know it's all good. I
Yeah.
stayed with one of my best friends at NSU on campus,
Okay.
pretended like I went to school and stuff like that. I had just dropped my first mixtape of all time, straight from the bottom. The real ones know about that. It's no longer available because they took away Spinrilla and
Okay.
things. But when I came down there, man, I came down there raw and I was still hooping. So I low key got myself back in shape to hoop, and I was low
Yeah.
key. I was in the gym with D1 players, and I was showing that I can hang with them, and I was offered different things. So I was still in the should I hoop or should I play? Should I do the music? But all
Yeah.
in all, when I got down there and I showcased my music to the people down there in the HBCU, people loved it. People were saying I was like the best rapper they ever heard or the best rapper in the school, and they thought I
Right.
was going to school there. So that was my whole play. They thought I
Yeah.
was going to school. I was just playing it so I could, But I learned so much in that era. I learned like I was treating it like I was in school. This is my music school. I was writing
Yeah.
every day. I was researching. I was
Mhm.
working out. I was doing certain principles, like all layering just to improve myself and never go back to somebody that people would sleep on or treat like ain't worth nothing. But
Right.
through that, I gained the confidence because when you down there in 757, it's it's real down there. I mean, it's real in Fredericksburg, but it's real down there, and you got to
Yeah.
be on point. So when you got people down there champion you that you can do it, it gives real confidence. And then I ended up working at the shipyard down there.
Okay.
So I was homeless. I went down there, was just trying to get myself together. I went from that. Then I got a trade. Then I got myself in position to like focus on the music seriously. And I'll say that, in that chapter is when I like truly believe. And I was in the shipyard working. I was working, but my mind was on music. I'll be inspiring people in the
Of
shipyard,
course.
telling them like I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna blow
Oh
when I
yeah.
leave here, just affirming everything. And I'll say that was
Exactly.
the time when I seen it and I knew, and it was just a burning desire to be great.
Yep. It's got to speak it into existence, man. So I love
Yeah,
that. It's like I don't think I've ever heard of a success story or anybody who have achieved anything who didn't speak it into existence. You know what I mean?
you
That's
have
like
to.
you have to, man. So, or who believed in you before everyone else did? Because obviously there was a period where, like you said, maybe somebody would say, "Oh man, I don't know, he's gonna, what I mean, do it." And then
Yeah,
obviously, I'm sure there's some people who's like, "Bro, I got your back from day one." So,
yeah. No, I love this question. Because this type of question put things in perspective to like who's around me, who I keep around me to this day. But
yeah,
I'll give a few people a shout out on this, but the first person, to be honest, that really installed the confidence is Jamal Strader,
yeah,
KMB7. That's my brother for life, man. He's the one that truly he's seen a lot of me that I did like that I didn't see in the spectrum that he's seen it.
yeah,
And he truly believed it. He truly like seen everything and told me that I really can do that. Like I really can do that. He ain't know nothing about music. He ain't know
right,
nothing about nothing. We loved we was inspired by G Herbo and them
yeah,
back in the day. And he was
right,
like, man, that's us, bro. We can get out the trenches doing this, bro. Like just like so that's
yeah,
really what it was. Him, my boy Rohan Francis as well. It's a lot of friends I can name. I can name people all day. People that really
yeah,
was around. And low key you, bro. You was
yes,
around. You was around. You was around in that era. And just believe in me as a person more so.
definitely,
But just certain people that just believed in my character as a person and didn't judge me at that time because that's what I was going through a lot. I was going through a lot of people just like,
yeah,
oh, you washed up, you burnt out, you this,
hmm,
you that, you homeless, you that. But people didn't really take a and get the time to take a look into who I was outside of basketball.
yeah.
And that's what music has helped me do is build a real identity outside of a sport.
Shout out to what was that, Wellington Lakes?
Wellington Woods. Wellington
Wellington
Lake,
Woods.
same
Well,
difference.
you know
Yeah,
what I mean. It's Wellington Lakes on the other side, I think.
other side, same
Yeah,
same
yeah,
difference, but low
yeah,
low trenches, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Low.
If you had to describe your career in three chapters, which you're at an early stage in your career. You know what I mean. This is
Yeah.
still the ground phase. You feel me? Like,
Yes, sir.
'cause
Yes, sir. Very much so.
you're trending. Make sure I'm going the right way. You're trending. You know what I mean. This way. And
Yes.
so, if you had to give your career right now, as of today, three chapters, what would each chapter be called?
That's the first chapter. I would name that the relentless phase.
Okay.
And why? I'm gonna say and why. The relentless phase was like I said earlier, I was homeless. I didn't have nothing. All I had was myself. Like
Yeah.
resilience and relentlessness. And I say that on one of my most popular songs when I first dropped my tape was Relentless. It was just an aura and energy I carried and the people around me carried that we good no
Yeah.
matter what the situation is. So that first chapter is just relentless.
I like that.
Because that's what I had to do to get to the next point. And the next point, I'm gonna say the next chapter, the next point is pre-basketball. So we're gonna kind of condense that to the same. And
Mhm.
I'm gonna just name that as the I know I'm destined chapter. I know I got it
I like
chapter.
that.
I,
Yep.
I'm not playing chapter.
Yep.
So in the beginning that was 2016 till about 2018. So from 2018 to about 2020, that was me blowing myself up, like
Right.
to the underground slash mainstream realm where people know who I am and I got my own algorithm and things like that.
Yep.
And then now after that, this phase I'm in now is I don't even know how to describe this phase. This phase is um I'll say clarity.
Yeah.
It's the clarity phase. It's now it's the business clarity phase of truly understanding what it takes to maintain a business, not just blowing up.
Right. Yeah.
But but because I, to be real, I blew up and didn't like. I came out of. I didn't go to school. Like
Hmm.
I was around school, but I don't have an education in school. Everything that I learned, I had to teach myself. It was self taught. So when
Yeah.
you a real hustler, you don't
Yep.
know all the dimensions how to keep your hustle legally outside of what you did, especially if you're doing it legally, but you're not doing it the correct way legally, if you know what I'm saying. You're just
Yeah.
making your money. No
Right.
LLC. You're not, you know what I'm getting at. So I had to learn how to become a businessman. I had to
Right.
learn how to take that raw hustler, street edgy, but still professional and smart because I've done so many things. I've worked. I was never afraid to do. That's why I am who I am. I'm a diverse person. I'm not just,
Yeah.
oh, his shot is that. I'm a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? That
Right.
makes me who I am and what I had to tap into, get over certain things or understand who I am as a person. So that's kind of how I would condense those chapters. This is a clarity chapter.
Yep.
Just about just infrastructure, just building my brand to that point to where we can get to the next phase of my career, which is the true takeoff chapter, you know.
And I love how you said business clarity because this is something that I think is not talked about enough. Like, yeah, you can make $100,000 the wrong way, not pay taxes, not be able to put any money in the bank, not be able to get any real estate, or you could make the 100,000, pay taxes, have write-offs, go
Yeah.
buy some land, do real things. So
Yeah.
the only way you can do real things with your money is by doing it the proper way, and that
Yeah.
takes business etiquette, that takes business clarity, and you're
Yeah.
only gonna learn that if you go to school or you do it like me and you, where you just get out there and do it, and you're gonna find out.
You're
You
gonna
know?
find out, you're gonna
Yeah.
learn. And really when you're doing it yourself, it's just about like every business is different. Cause yes, you don't have to go to school for business. It helps if you do,
Yeah.
but there's different things you can learn. There's nothing to teach yourself. You can teach yourself anything. That's the beautiful part about being a human being.
Yeah.
So but like you said, it's just about knowing the dimensions of money. It's not
Yeah.
about stacking money or having money. It's about growing.
Exactly. Yep.
It's
Exactly.
about growing it. It's about
Mhm.
long term sustainability and then putting it into other places. So whatever you're getting it, however you're making it, if that becomes that's you don't even your money's growing. So however you're getting it,
Yeah.
you're just getting it now. It's not. And
Mhm.
that's the art of business and growing your money, and that's just where I'm headed now and seeing things and getting on top of just moving
Yeah.
like moving like the top people with money in the world.
Money was made to move, not
Yeah,
sit, not to be held in anybody's hand against their ear. It was
yeah,
made to move. You know what I mean?
that's real
And do
talk.
and make more. So let's talk back to your career. What was because I feel like one thing maybe people struggle with seeing because social media is always showing the good side of stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You're always gonna show the up and up, right?
Yeah,
And and I get it though, but I also the realness is like there's got to be some low points too. So like, what's a low
yeah.
point as an artist that you've experienced?
I've experienced all sorts of low points as an artist, man. Doing
Yeah,
it yourself, I feel like you have to constantly reinvent yourself as an artist. So as far as like I really went with the flow. I went with like what I felt like I needed to do inside. So some of the low points came from taking certain risk at certain times and not properly understanding how to make sure that everything's in place when you do certain things. And
yeah,
sometimes risk work, but when you go to a LA or Los Angeles and you're doing certain things and stuff starts, you might have went out there with 10 racks, but
yeah,
then XYZ happens, XYZ happens, XYZ happens. Now you're down to your last $2,000 and you're like, what the happened? Because it's a whole different experience. So
yeah,
some of my low points was just not being really prepared that like to the degree that I wanted to.
yeah,
And when I was first blowing up, I'll say, and then just going through the trials and tribulations of business, learning that there's high and low tides of business.
yeah,
So when you go through your low tide and you didn't prepare correctly with your high tide, you're gonna experience what that low tide means.
yeah,
So just like it's just going through the growing pains of not just an artist but a businessman, an artist being my profession.
yeah,
So those are some of my lows. I've really been through it all. I can talk about the lows all day long, but
right,
essentially I'm a regular person like anyone else. I am not. I'll tell anyone I'm not better than anyone just
yeah,
because my talent is how I've paid bills or how I've done things or how I've influenced or how I created my lifestyle. It's just I'm a unique person. But
Right.
all in all, we all face the same obstacles. We all have to are subjected to the cost of living.
There's highs and lows to everything, and if
Yeah,
you don't prepare for the lows when you up, then
yeah.
that low is gonna feel
It's gonna
way
feel
different. It's
crazy.
gonna feel
It's
crazy,
gonna
man.
feel
And
real different. And yeah, it's
mm,
so you have to teach yourself that. Like I'm
yeah,
saying, coming from a we don't I don't I don't come from money. I don't come from this is
you
how
saying,
I don't come from
right?
people teach. I taught myself. So when you
Yeah,
learn this, when you experience it in
yeah,
real time, when I'm talking about when I first blew, like I made some of the most money I ever made at one time in my life, as far as like initially like
yeah,
and then you just like, oh yeah, this is it.
yeah.
This is how I go. Or I
Mm-hmm.
know I'm gonna be able to maintain this or get this popping, but then you realize like algorithms change,
Mm-hmm.
guidelines change,
Yeah,
platforms change, people change, life
mm,
changes,
yeah,
and you have to continue. You have to like continuously reinvent yourself to retain and maintain what you want once you went out of life, like and what you want out of your business. So, and that's the hard part, maintaining
maintaining, yeah,
and
man.
sustaining. Yeah,
And so, what habit would you say has helped you grow the most? Yeah,
discipline,
discipline. Yep.
discipline. I'm very disciplined. They're very disciplined and being accountable for myself.
Yep. I love that, man. I
Hold
think those are
accountability, yeah, and discipline, yeah. That's it. I think that's what because you need the discipline to do. I'm like you can't just when you want to be a creator or you want to do anything in business, you can't just move like it's a 9 to 5 in a sense, or you just going to work and it's over with. Like
yeah,
you gotta, it's never ending.
yeah. That's true.
What you put into it is what you get out of it, but you also got to understand the balance so you don't burn yourself out.
Cool, man. So now we're gonna get into basketball. You know, the viral success
Yeah,
of that. For anybody who doesn't know, check out the song "Basketball." It's on all platforms. Check out all
yes, sir.
ShaiVa's music. But this specific song is crazy because I knew you before this song. So when I
Yeah,
saw this song on social media, I was like really like geeked up. I was super happy
yeah,
for you, and I think I reached out to you and everything. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
yeah. I
Um,
appreciate you, bro. For real, definitely,
yeah.
definitely been supportive the whole time.
Oh, bro, always, man. So did you know that basketball had the potential to go viral, or did it surprise you?
I knew that was the one that was going to change my life. Because
Yeah,
one thing about me, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell the audience, I'm a highly spiritual person. I'm gonna just put it there. We don't gotta overly get into all of that. But as far as who I am, I know I'm gifted with the sense of spirituality and the sense of something beyond me. So,
yeah,
with that being said, by the time I made basketball, right, that was 2019. Around that time was an interesting part of my life because I was transitioning from working to like I'm doing this full time.
yeah.
So that was the era where I took the risk. Where like, man, everybody gonna know about me after this when I do this. You feel me? I'm
I
keeping it
love
set up.
that.
That's what it was. And when I was working, so in that time, I put my last $1,000 on the spot, and I just locked into hustling. And I ain't gonna get into too much detail with that. I just started hustling and creating my way, and I'm never working again in energy. And I'm
Yeah,
a big artist that people gonna know. So I started locking in at Morgantown, West Virginia, and I started working on my vocals every day. I've always been a really talented lyricist naturally and a different lyricist, but I started working on
yep,
my vocals. I studied the game, and at the time, I was noticing that the melodic, and I always had melodic ability and stuff, but melodic storytelling was like that's my niche. I can do that.
yeah,
This little,
yeah.
I'm hearing everybody else melodic little pain story. I'm like, man, I got something crazy to tell the people. So I always knew when I was able to form a song that really displayed my real life events in a summarized way, because I never told people about me. I never told people how I grew up and how what I went through. I was always that happy person and that people a funny person, and just like when people see me, it was like a healing experience. I would
Yeah,
never tell people my darkness. So people would assume I just had money or had it like that off of my
right.
spirit being rich.
Yep. I know
But
exactly.
all in all, but like when you go through life, and I was facing some by 24, 25, I went through I was the pain that I had so much pain, but it was alchemized perfectly. So when I'm creating and I harness the energy for basketball, I felt this spiritual experience while creating a song. I tell anybody, I felt
Wow.
there's no song that I've ever made, and I got crazy songs. There's songs people may think that's better than basketball on a Sonic, whatever. That's your preference, but message, spirit to person. When people hear it, if you've even remotely been through that experience, you're gonna think that's one of the best songs you ever heard, and that's what's like. So I had that happen. I recorded it, and when I heard the final mix, it was like, man, this is it. This is the one. And I didn't care who didn't like it. Even there's my closest people around me was like, oh, it's all right. It's different. They didn't
Yeah.
even. It was so ahead of the time. It was so. I seen how ahead of
Yeah.
the game I was in that, and I seen how I changed people's perspective once other people started to like, no, this song's different. Them, oh, I
Yeah.
see what you did, or
Yeah.
but yeah, that's kind of how that went, man. I definitely knew it was the one. I knew that
Yeah.
was the one. I still know it's gonna be bigger than where it's at now. It's the one.
Yeah. What's the biggest misconception people have after seeing a viral hit?
I think the biggest misconception people have is people assume I might be just rich, or
Right. Yeah.
people just assume like
Like you got $1 million because of that.
I may have it all together,
Yeah.
or I don't know. It's a lot of different misconceptions. A lot of
Okay.
misconceptions is people may think like it was luck, or people may think it's a lot. It's a lot of, I don't know. It's hard to, people sleep on the impact of what I did with it. And
Yeah.
now everything's so oversaturated. Like I'm one of those few people, or one of those few creatives that blew up without having money.
Right. Right.
It
Yeah.
blew up off her, like I didn't have an OG. I
Organically.
didn't like,
Yeah.
I blew up like I wasn't like, I wasn't obviously fucked up not having nothing, but I had just what I had to invest in myself to make it happen. As far as the recordings and the releasing, as far as marketing, advertisement, all of that. I'm a marketer now.
Right.
I've
Right.
developed into that, but I didn't know nothing about none of that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but people will see me as a marketer now and be like, "Oh, you just know what you're doing." Nah, that was a grassroots universal thing. So I always make sure I
Yeah.
get that clear with people. That's my true artistry. It don't
Yeah.
have nothing to do with marketing.
Right.
But now I did market myself around and in real time and guerrilla marketing, not social media,
Hmm.
really tapping in with the people in different places around where I was at to
Right.
build a strong group. So like it blew up in real time. Then it blew up on the internet. And
Yeah.
then it took off and found TikTok. I didn't know it was going to do all of that,
Right.
but I knew that it would make people familiar with who I was. I knew I would get noticed out of Virginia for the song.
Did the success create more opportunities or more pressure?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. A balance. That's a great question. It's a great this is a great, you've asked phenomenal questions, man. I've had a lot of interviews, and it's different because we actually have a real relationship, but I appreciate
Yeah.
the how you're asking the questions.
Sure, man.
So now as far as man, it's the song changed my life. Like
Yeah.
truly, it changed my life. Like it changed my whole like wiring of my mind.
Yeah.
Before that song, I didn't have a I mean, I had a platform, but I didn't have a platform that I made money off every day, yearly. And then it turned into a whole nother thing. Then there's pressure within that. Like, dang,
Yeah.
I'm not where I should be as an artist, because you get, when you learn the industry, like I said, you don't know, like I felt like when you get into the business of stuff, and these
Mhm.
platforms is playing with you because you're your own entity and you're not really with nobody. And I don't know, it's a different game. So that you're playing. So I definitely feel like I should be bigger. I definitely feel like I'm underappreciated in certain realms, but all in all, I'm appreciative and grateful for where I am. Like I'm more grateful than anything. I can't lie. Don't no matter, even if I feel like I should be here or there, I just still know I'm in a point that people would love to be in.
To me, when you're an entrepreneur, actually when you're anything, you got to be able to balance opportunity and pressure. That's the balance. Because if you always think you always gonna get an opportunity, that's when you're gonna squander a lot. But
Yeah,
if you look at opportunity like and then put that pressure on yourself, it's just a balance. It's a balancing beam, and so
yeah,
it's you
you're
got to
very
be
right
able
though.
you got to be able to handle both of
And I'm gonna
those.
say another thing for you. Switch it.
Yeah.
What helps me, or anybody, any real business minded people, or any people like just trying to understand energetic tricks.
Yep.
You don't want to live life too high or too low. You don't
Right.
want to get
Exactly.
too high or too low about anything. You want to stay in the middle. You don't want to get your hopes up. You know my song, I Don't Do the Hope, and that's a real movement. That's a real intentional. I'm very intentional with words, how you say things.
Yeah.
looking at it like people ain't nothing wrong with hope. Really think about the word hope. Your
Yeah.
hope. It's nothing wrong with it, but it ain't. I like to know. I like to move in faith and hope. They like to put hope in faith, but like as an artist, right, I'm gonna break it down like this, right? Just real quick
Yeah.
before we switch it.
That's good.
Why I don't like hope is because people will put hope on you in a negative intention or a negative energetic barrier on it, right? Like say like, man, I'm trying to perform at Coachella in a couple years, man. I hope you do.
Right. Exactly.
I don't
Yeah.
like that. I don't
Yeah.
like you just trying to get me out the way. You don't care. You just trying to
Yeah.
make me feel like you agree to that. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
G check people. I'm someone that will correct someone's energetic signature with me. Like I don't hope
Exactly.
nothing on me.
Right.
I don't do the hope. You
Right.
know, you pray, you wish. I'll take
Right.
those. It
Yeah.
just being like it, and it just you know because frequency is everything. You don't want people to just put anything on your frequency because that can become a reality.
Exactly, bro. I mean, this is now we're really getting into it because this is one of my favorite topics. I'm glad that you said you got to check people, bro. Because if you let people bring any kind of energy into your realm, your energy doesn't know energy like that. I mean, energy knows
Right.
energy, but it doesn't know how to differentiate it. It's your mind that differentiates it
Right.
subconsciously. And
Yeah.
so if you don't check it, your mind's thinking like, oh shit, all right, he cool with this or she's cool with this, or whoever the
Right.
person is. And so you
Nah,
got
that's
it.
true.
You got to stay in control of your energy because that's you have to stay in control. Listen, I really appreciate you, bro, and we're definitely gonna hop on again. But
Yeah, man, you got me. I appreciate this. I'm big
yeah,
on just vibes and I like how you conduct your platform and what you're asking. You're really trying to tap in to the mind frame of what it takes to be successful in any realm, and
and
that's
yeah,
big.
any realm, and it. I mean, it's all about teaching everybody or anybody who wants to learn. You know what I mean? I literally, and you did too, learn from trial and error.
Yeah,
But I'm sitting here saying that I would much rather have learned from somebody else, you know what I mean, earlier if I could have. Now,
right.
I'm the type of person where I do like doing things trial by error just because that's how I was made up. That's my physical makeup.
Yeah,
But I think we're in this world where there's too many people painting a false narrative. There's
yeah,
not enough people keeping it real, and I feel like you do a great job of keeping it real and telling people what it, how the true narrative of life,
yeah.
without the extra social media, you know,
Nah,
it's
nah.
just extra social media. I don't even know what to say it because I don't get
The
into
thing
it.
is, I'm becoming in this. I'm not to before we end off. Cause you
Yeah,
very like observant,
yeah,
but I'll say I'm very private. With all this talent, I'm very private and mysterious. Naturally, not that I try to be. I don't. I'm not giving everybody everything.
yeah,
So I'm a marketer. So now I know ways where I can suffice without having to just, But I just
mhm.
like to keep it real, and I know like I don't move certain ways because I know the levels of certain things and I don't want to be targeted, truthfully,
Yeah,
because
that's
I know
true.
how powerful my mind is and what I do. So I do it in my music and I hide it in different things and I'm waiting to just build my power up so I can influence the world and in 15, 20 years from now on a whole different way. So I'm a very strategic person. I think about things years down the line. So this is just where I'm at now and the timeline I'm in now that I'm mastering so I can really move in the world how I want to.
Yeah, man, I love that. So now we'll end off right there. But for anybody who doesn't know, Xavier does social media marketing. So go ahead and tap in with him for on
Yes,
his
sir.
social media platform. And Team Natural Fit, Xavier will be doing some good stuff coming in the near future. And we appreciate you, bro, for hopping on Early Birds podcast. And we're gonna keep this thing going, man.
Man, I appreciate you so much, bro. Anytime. Appreciate Brent too. Shout out Brent holding it down. You guys got a something real special in the works. And I believe in you, bro. I really do. You work real hard. I've seen your progressions
Thanks,
throughout
man.
these
Same to
last
you.
2, 3 years, man. So we locked in. We're gonna make a lot of things happen. So
Let's get it, bro. Appreciate you, man.
have a wonderful and blessed one, bro.
All right, you too.
Peace.
Peace.